associated with barrenness. Those who are barren are not helping perpetuate the family name. Every family is expecting that from generation to generation, their name will live on. A barren woman can become an object of scorn and ridicule. She is seen as having less value to her husband or to any man. And some of you women know the challenge. If a couple gets married and for years they're not having children, there's pressure from all around. What is happening? Barrenness in the culture of the Bible is perceived as a sign of God's disfavor, God's curse. A woman who is barren has been passed over by God because she has not been worthy of his blessings. You read Exodus 23, 25 to 26. It says, this is the promise that God had made. So you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. No one shall suffer miscarriage or be barren in the land. Yet, Hannah has no children. Consider how it must have affected Hannah socially, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. I mean, even though she was the first wife, she was demoted to second place because of her barrenness. I mean, when they went to offer sacrifices, Elkanah would give a double portion of offering in comparison to Peninnah and the other children. And he can be generous as he wants to be. But a double portion of the sacrifice would not hide the shame of barrenness that she bears. Hannah had to endure even the provocations of her rival Peninnah. And the Bible says that her provocations were designed to make her miserable. And it's like she was adding salt and pepper in the wounds of Hannah. Even the worship experience, they would go to Shiloh every year to worship. It's like our camp meeting, where everybody will congregate. And imagine their families will have all their children. And everybody will be happy. Hannah would go to that place of convocation, but it will be a painful experience. She would see all the parents with their children, and she had to contend with the provocations of her rival. This only served to compound the pain of a womb that was closed by God. Hannah could not even eat. She was so emotionally disturbed that she lost her appetite. She just cried. I mean, even Elkanah tried to encourage her, saying, am I not better than 10 sons? Should that make her happy? A husband cannot replace a son, and a son cannot replace a husband. Hannah is in utter despair. The ripple effects of God making an executive decision to close her womb. Now, how do we make sense of this situation? How do we cope in the interim when it feels like the sovereign God's will has denied us our blessing? So we desperately seeking answers from God. Like Hannah, the very thing that would satisfy our deepest longing has been held back from us by God. In the interim, the pain is compounded when you look around sometimes and see other people seem to be granted their blessings. Others who have received the answers to their prayers. I just heard our sister say she thanks God that He has provided an apartment for her. Some people have been praying and they're still looking for God to open up the door to their blessing. Some people have been able to testify, since God has become my shepherd, I'm no longer in want, when others are crying, Lord, where are you?